Hi, and welcome to our daily tarot. First off, I wanted to just say, for some reason, I've had difficulty on Instagram with my videos uploading correctly. Either they don't upload at all, or when they do upload, they have some weird filter on them that makes me look like I'm in an alternate universe. So if you ever run into that, I am going to just start uploading them again, even though they're in a weird filter, because I feel like some people are just listening to my readings and they still get help from them if they can still be uploaded in that way. For some reason, they're not uploading without a filter. I thought it was because of possible drawn nudity in my cards, but I'm not sure if that's the case. I've reached out to the folks at Instagram to see if I can somehow resolve it. But until then, if you run into a strange coloration filter on the Instagram videos, please check out my YouTube channel, Delaney's Well, and you'll be able to see me in normal color and all of the cards and everything instead of a pixelated view. Let's go ahead and jump into today's cards. The opening card that we have for today is this Five of Pentacles card. We've had this card come up pretty often recently, and consider that there's 78 cards in the deck and I pull 4 cards every day. So when cards repeat, it's like this energy that we're still sitting in and working on and working over. Even though this is typically a day-to-day card, it's something that we move through and it's passing and a temporary thing, we're still sitting in this situation where we're looking at something that happened in the past that possibly didn't pan out, and we're feeling kind of beat up over it. It could have been either a project that didn't work out, or a relationship that didn't work out, something that we took to heart that was of value to us. But ultimately, it's making us reconsider our values and take into consideration that there is a higher power that's ultimately involving itself and in our lives. And as some people would say, failures or things that don't work out in our lives aren't things to beat ourselves up for. They're actually the universe's way of redirecting us towards something that is in a resonance with our being. So the challenge that we're facing today is that whatever shift we were in happened really suddenly. It was like a turn of events that we didn't plan for, we didn't foresee. And that turn of events is creating an opportunity for us. That's the thing that it can be difficult to consider when we're stuck in this place where we're looking down all the time. But realize that 5s as a number, and this is the 5 of Pentacles, it's asking us to make a choice as to where we want to put our attention and what we value. And this Wheel of Fortune card that's showing up as our challenge for today is begging for us to look for the opportunity in this change rather than just, let ourselves kind of fall off the side of the wheel. Now, this is typically like a really beneficial card because it's governed by Jupiter and it's the second most favorable card in the deck. So it may be that this thing that we didn't have work out in our lives was actually in our best interest, as hard as it may be for our outlook or our emotional, I want to say scales at this point. We still have to realize that there's still time that we have to move toward. And the way that we're going to get through this challenge of this big shift is actually ascending to something higher. So the Page of Wands is associated with that energy of Sagittarius. It's also, interestingly enough, governed by Jupiter. So you see this person and they're standing in this desert-like environment, and they're looking upwards and they're letting their values and their direction be determined by a higher calling or something that is greater than them. And so it's interesting to consider that, what the mind and our personal experience and our ego likes to look at as a hardship, as like the universe beating us up over the heads, it could actually be creating this big shift for the betterment of our lives. And this is telling us to aim higher and to keep your goals in sight. Now, the ultimate outcome that we're dealing with today is an interesting card, considering all the cards that have already shown up. It's the Three of Swords. Now, this is a downtrodden card. You see these 3 swords that are piercing this heart and this storm that's in the background. What this card is reminding us is that where we put our mental attention can put us in an emotional whirlwind. And consider that, this is a card of worry. This is a card of mental anguish. And I wasn't okay with us sitting with that card as our last card for today. So I pulled us a final card. That final card is the Seven of Pentacles. So this is begging us to pull our attention aside, to, get a little detachment from the situation and view it from a different perspective, so that we don't see it as I said, like the universe beating us over the head or punishing our ego or telling us that we aren't going to get this thing or that thing or whatever, mental story is causing all this worry in our lives. Ultimately, this is telling you, you know what, just hold your attention to the side. Take a moment to observe things and really look at your values. And if you really look at your values and that situation that didn't work out, you can see how perhaps that wasn't actually the best thing for you. And that you're actually still in this place of tending to your own garden and growing. And when you get to that place where you can work through these things and really grow into your closer potential, that's when this thing will work out, because you're still in this space of like creating the resonance to call this thing in. And so consider that it's time to tend to yourself instead of beating yourself up over the head or like, beating yourself up over the heart or mentally, running the mind in these like channels that are like records playing over and over again that create these trenches that just like pull up wells of emotion. Instead, tend to yourself. Take care of the body. Take care of your garden, your life. Be practical about things. Work on yourself. Love yourself. Because ultimately, there are still things that are growing and things that are happening in time. And we're in a time of waiting for things to be revealed. So with that said, we are going to be having a lot of things revealed with this lunar eclipse that is going to be happening on the 19th. I encourage you to look for when it is happening in your geographical area so you can possibly be aware of that and take observation of that. And then also, take into consideration that it is a big time of change. And so that axis of Taurus and Scorpio, wherever it is in your chart at that 27 degrees of Taurus and 27 degrees of Scorpio, is likely a time where there's going to be some kind of revealing or epiphany or some shift that is happening. I send you a good wish and I hope you have a beautiful day. I will see you again soon. Bye for now.